Wind up, Jason! Your work isn't finished!
This is a one-time gig. When it's done, we're done.
Let's dance, asshole!
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is DropThisBox, and I hope all of you guys are having a fantastic day today. And I wanted to close out the week by talking about a cartoon that really flew by. Like, when I say that this cartoon really flew by, it really felt like it just went by so quickly. It's kind of hard to really remember that it was actually a thing. And the cartoon that I am referring to is Catscratch, because Catscratch was a cartoon that I did remember watching as a kid, but I know it only had one season, so there really wasn't much to that. And I wanted to make this video talking about exactly if, hypothetically, Catscratch was released around a different time, would it have been successful? Like, would it have gone somewhere if it was released at a different time period, if you get what I'm trying to say? So I'm going to be talking about that throughout this entire video. So if you guys have any thoughts of your own when it comes to that sort of thing that you guys want to share with me, or if you guys just want to share your own thoughts on Catscratch as a whole, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. So the timing of Catscratch's release in 2005 wasn't exactly ideal, because Nickelodeon was packed of highly popular shows like SpongeBob SquarePants, Fairly Odd Parents, and of course Avatar: The Last Airbender. So with competition like that, Catscratch, while fun and quirky, struggled to capture a loyal audience. And Nickelodeon's programming lineup was filled with shows that already established a strong fan base, which made it difficult for new ones to stand out. The mid-2000s saw a trend towards hyper-recognizable characters and stories with broad appeal. Shows like SpongeBob became cultural icons, which set an impossibly high bar. Catscratch had a unique charm, but it didn't necessarily have the widespread accessible humor Nickelodeon seemed to favor. Its slightly absurd, slapstick style was a bit of a throwback, and it may have come across as niche, appealing more to specific tastes than to the broader audience Nickelodeon aimed for. Another challenge was how Nickelodeon handled promotion, because the network tended to throw its weight behind only a few key shows, leaving smaller ones like Catscratch without much visibility. Catscratch had all the ingredients for a cult following, but without strong advertising and a unique slot in the lineup, it struggled to gain momentum. In other words, the timing just wasn't right, especially with the limited visibility that the show had. It's also worth noting that Catscratch premiered at a time when the TV landscape was undergoing big changes. The rise of digital cable and early streaming options meant kids were starting to have access to way more content, and it became easier to skip around to the other channels or shows, which hurt series that didn't immediately grab viewers' attention. So for Catscratch, this timing contributed to it slipping under the radar. So if Catscratch had premiered in the late 90s, it might have been more successful, because back then, Nickelodeon was embracing quirky, experimental shows with open arms. Shows like Ren and Stimpy, Rocko's Modern Life, and Angry Beavers all had eccentric humor and unique animation styles that pushed boundaries. Audiences were receptive to new types of comedy animation, making it a great era for offbeat concepts like Catscratch. In the late 90s, Nickelodeon lineup wasn't as rigidly structured around a few hit shows. Instead, it celebrated a wider variety of programming styles. Catscratch could have taken advantage of this, standing out as another unique show rather than competing against massive icons. The oddball humor, physical gags, and bizarre adventures that defined Catscratch would have fit right in, resonating with audiences looking for something unusual. And during the late 90s, TV wasn't as saturated with options, streaming didn't exist yet, and cable provided limited alternatives, making viewers more likely to give shows a chance. There were more patients with new programs, which could have allowed Catscratch to grow its fan base gradually. and the fewer viewing options would have created a more captive audience who might have appreciated the quirky dynamics of Catscratch's characters and humor style. Moreover, the humor style of the late 90s was less sanitized than what have came afterwards, and this would have been advantageous for Catscratch, which thrived on its odd, unfiltered humor. With Nickelodeon experimenting with outlandish ideas and pushing comedy boundaries, Catscratch could have been part of this iconic era, likely gaining a stronger following in the process. So if Catscratch would have been released in the early 2010s, the rise of streaming services might have given it a different kind of audience, because this era marked a shift with platforms like Netflix starting to focus on children's programming. Shows that didn't do well on traditional TV had a second life on streaming where audience could binge watch, and Catscratch, with its unique and chaotic style, could have found a niche here. The benefit of streaming is what allowed viewers to explore a show's episodes without the pressure of TV schedules. Catscratch had the kind of slapstick humor and fast-paced storylines that have worked well in a binge format. Kids who enjoyed quirky shows could go from one episode to the next, which might have led to a cult following. Streaming is also becoming popular for its ability to give shows with niche audiences a longer life. Furthermore, in the early 2010s, social media platforms were also booming. Catscratch could have had a better word-of-mouth promotion through platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, creating organic fan discussions, and in this environment, Catscratch might have benefited from the internet's natural tendency to revive and celebrate overlooked gems. With fans sharing clips and talking about their favorite moments online, it could have drawn in curious viewers. Finally, in the 2010s, nostalgia was also becoming a huge factor for entertainment, because shows that had an older feel were gaining appreciation as part of this movement. Catscratch's quirky humor and somewhat retro animation style could have played into this, appealing to both the new audiences and older ones looking for a throwback to zany cartoons. Releasing on a streaming platform during this period could have allowed Catscratch to thrive with audiences looking for something nostalgic yet fresh. If Catscratch were released today, the landscape of children's media would offer it both challenges and opportunities. With major streaming services producing original content for kids, there's more competition than ever, but there's also room for niche, unique shows to find a specific audience. Today's viewers were accustomed to a variety of animation styles and genres, which could work in Catscratch's favor. There's also a renewed appreciation for cartoons with distinct personalities and offbeat humor. Modern audiences enjoy shows of unique world building, and Catscratch had a distinct premise that stands out from typical animation fare. This type of humor has gained more acceptance with shows like Adventure Time and Regular Show, proving that unusual settings and quirky characters can thrive. In this respect, Catscratch could have a fair shot today if it was marketed well. Another advantage for Catscratch in today's market is social media's ability to create fandoms. Platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and even fan sites would allow fans to share clips and fan art, creating a community around this show. The internet's nostalgia-driven culture might have also bring in fans who have missed it the first time, blending new viewers with those curious about forgotten gems from Nickelodeon. One potential drawback, though, is the sheer volume of content kids have access to now. Without a strong marketing push or a clear hook, Catscratch might still struggle to cut through the noise, but with the right strategy, it could find its place in today's landscape, especially if audiences looking for quirky, clever humor that's a little different from the mainstream fare. But overall, that's all I have to say about Catscratch in this video. I just wanted to make a video talking about Catscratch because, as you guys have been seeing, I've been trying my very best covering all the different kinds of Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network and Disney shows that we grew up watching as kids, and I just wanted to give my own thoughts on Catscratch today because, like I said earlier, it was a show that didn't last as long. It only had one season, which growing up I actually thought it had more than one season, but doing some research on it, it actually just had one season. So just knowing that right off the bat, I mean, that's just pretty crazy to me. So that's why I wanted to make this video, just going over if it was released during certain time periods, could it have had a better outcome when it comes to exactly if the show could have just exploded in popularity. So if you guys have any thoughts of your own when it comes to the series, like do you guys have your own perspective if Catscratch was released at a certain time, how it could work, be sure to let me know all your thoughts on that down below. And if there was people that actually grew up with Catscratch like I did, you know, all those years ago when the show first came out, be sure to let me know your own experience with the show when it comes to the characters that you like, when it comes to your favorite episode, stuff like that. Be sure to let me know all of that in the comment section down below. And if you guys enjoy this video, as always, be sure to like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And if you guys want to follow your boy on social media, be sure to check out my Twitter, my Instagram, my TikTok, and my Facebook. All of that is located in the description below. Be sure to click on that bell for notifications so you guys are notified whenever I drop a video on the channel. But other than that, I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, wherever the day may be, if it's the daytime, the nighttime, or the evening. And I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, peace out.